Hello, I'm Bill Lampton, often referred to by my clients as the speech coach for champions. That time of year has finally gotten here that people have waited for what seemed like endless months. Yep, I'm talking about football season. The kickoffs have happened at the high school, college, and professional levels. People are going to flock to stadiums to see their favorite teams. They'll enjoy tailgating. And when their team is playing away, they'll watch on television. At the end of all of this season, in every state, one high school is going to be crowned the state champion. There will be a national collegiate champion. And of course, we know one team professionally will win the Super Bowl. What is it, we might wonder, that separates these terrific top teams from the others who are just below them, just marginally below them possibly in ability and in coaching? There are four major ways that teams become champions. And what I want to go on to point out is that the way football teams become champions is the same way that speakers become top-level speakers. Let's begin with the first one, and that is intense, thorough preparation. Every great football team does it. In the off-season, the players are going through their own conditioning, staying in top shape, and then when the season starts, they've got a tremendous exercise regimen, strict diet, and they run through plays time after time. Bear Bryant, the legendary coach of Alabama, even hired referees to come in for his practice scrimmages and throw penalty flags when the players had committed an infraction of the rules, just like the penalty flags would be thrown in the games. He wanted a real game situation. And then, of course, there's the mental preparation that takes place. For example, Eagle Day, who was the quarterback of the Ole Miss Rebels in the 1950s, led them to 2 consecutive Southeastern Conference championships, to playing in the Sugar Bowl his junior year, his senior year winning the Cotton Bowl. Eagle Day said, every quarterback has a tremendous responsibility. In my case, he said, I had to learn 150 offensive plays. Not only that, I had to learn how to change those plays when the defense came up with a formation that we weren't expecting. A lot of times, he said, before a big game, I'd be lucky to get even 3 hours sleep per night because I had to master the playbook. And then I like what he went ahead and said. Eagle Day said, really, we had the game won before we ever hit the field. Okay, let's switch that to speaking. The speaker likewise goes through intensive, thorough preparation if he or she is going to be at the top. It begins with general preparation. That is, knowing their topic area thoroughly, reading, attending conferences, watching webinars, checking with experts in the field. Then specifically, when it comes to working with a particular client, talking with the client ahead of time, finding out what the audience is like. Then outlining the presentation, re-outlining it, possibly even rehearsing with video so you'll see how the presentation is developing. All of this preparation is what a top-tier speaker does. A second trait that makes football teams champions is that they never take any game lightly. If you look at anybody's schedule, college, high school, professional, usually you're going to find a couple of so-called patsies on that schedule. It's going to be a team that everybody thinks is just a shoo-in, an automatic win. But the great teams don't think of it that way. They don't let down. Their preparation is just as intense. They continue to be creative and innovative in their playmaking. Why? Well, for one thing, if you get lax, then the underdog team might defeat you. Not only that, staying on top, being as well prepared as you can, this is a great tune-up for the bigger games that are going to be very tough. All right? Now, with speakers, the best speakers don't ever think, oh well, next week I'm speaking to just a small civic club. No need to do much preparation for that. I can just sort of wing it. No, that's not the approach at all. The dedicated speaker says, these are 30 people who are giving me a half hour each of their time. That's a gift of 15 hours of valuable professional time. I am going to honor that gift with my very best effort. And so you do the same preparation for 30 people that you would do for 3,000 people. When you're there for presenting the speech, you give it the same energetic delivery. A third characteristic of great football teams is that they get over their losses quickly. No matter how good you are, it's almost impossible to have an unblemished schedule where you have no losses. Something's going to happen. Your star player will get injured. The other team comes up with some surprises that you didn't expect, or you just can't get clicking. Okay, what do you do about that? When you lose, you wipe that out of your mind quickly. You look at what you can learn from it. You look at the film of the game. You talk to the coaches and the players. You learn, and then you move on. The same is the case with speakers. Speakers are going to have some performances that are less than ideal. The high school debater is going to forget some facts or confuse some facts. The corporate leader is going to speak to her annual meeting. She'll be disappointed with the presentation that she made. And believe me, I can tell you from experience, even professional speakers have times when we just can't establish rapport with the audience. In every one of these cases, you look back, you examine what went wrong, you see what you need to do right. The next time, you correct it. Put your losses behind you pretty quickly. The fourth characteristic of great football teams is that they listen to their coaches. They follow their advice. Let's picture a football team down on the opposition's goal. It looks like a score is right at hand, and so the quarterback is thinking a play around the right end, a handoff around that right side. That's the play to call. But the coach sends in a different play. The coach may say, go over the left side instead, or to the surprise of everybody on the 5-yard line, the coach says, we're going to have a passing play. The players are thinking, where in the world did the coach come up with that idea? But they execute it. They know that the coach has the objectivity, the experience, and the feel for what can work that they aren't privileged to have. Great speakers listen to their coaches as well. When you're preparing with your coach for a major presentation, you may think that your presentation in rehearsal was zippy enough, but your coach says to you, it dragged, it was slow, pick it up. Or it may be that you tried some humor, which you thought would be quite effective and tasteful. Your coach says, get rid of it, that's going to offend somebody. So you listen to your coach. Isn't it amazing what great football teams and great speakers have in common? And let's review them quickly. Intense preparation, never take any game lightly, get over your losses quickly, and listen to your coach and follow directions. And I invite you, speaking of coaching, to look below here at the link to my website. I invite you to go there, look at my speech coaching page, and then contact me so that you and I can work out a plan where you too can become a champion speaker. Thanks very much for being with me. I'm Bill Lampton.